So today we're going to do something a little different. Instead of unpacking a concept, we're going to unpack a creator. We're going to dig into the work of the Vanimal, his tutorials, his blog, his interviews, and see if we can figure out who the person behind the keyboard really is. Let's get into it.
And you know what? The perfect place to start is actually a question from the creator's own podcast. This is it. This is the whole point of what we're doing today. Can you really get a full picture of someone just by looking at what they create? I think we can. All right, so to figure this out, we've got three main sources of intel. We've got a YouTube channel that is packed with super technical tutorials. Then there's a blog. And finally, a podcast that you'll see goes in a completely different direction. So let's start peeling back these layers.
Okay, so the first thing you hit, the first layer, is the hardcore technologist. I mean, you jump into the YouTube content and right away you see where this all starts. And let's be clear, this is not for beginners.
And the blog's tagline, it just nails it. It's like a warning sign, right? You are now entering a zone of seriously complex tech. We're not talking about how to use an app here. Oh no, we're talking about how to build the entire infrastructure that the app even runs on. And the topics themselves are a total dead giveaway. I mean, we're talking about things like enterprise-grade object storage, which is kind of like a Dropbox for a giant corporation, but on a massive scale. Advanced VMware networking, troubleshooting in Rocky Linux. Look, this is for the people who really live and breathe this stuff. You know, sysadmins, cloud architects, the real IT pros. So what you're seeing here is us simplifying a really complex process. The actual video, it's all command line, super detailed. But when you pull back and look at it from a high level like this, you see this really methodical approach. It's always DNS first, then deploy the files, transfer the code, run the scripts, configure it, and then install. It shows you someone who can get lost in the tiny details, but also sees the whole logical path from start to finish. You know, I love this quote. It's just so real, so authentic. It isn't some polished corporate speak. This is the voice of somebody who's been there in the trenches, someone who knows exactly what a good install screen looks like and probably what a bad one looks like too. And they're just sharing that straight-up experience. Okay, so that's layer one locked in, the technologist. All right, let's switch gears and head over to the blog, because this is where it gets even more interesting. See, a real expert doesn't just know how to do a thing. They know why that thing matters. And this is exactly where we see the shift from the how to the why, from just doing the tasks to thinking strategically. I mean, just look at these titles. We're not in the command line weeds anymore. We've jumped up to tackling the biggest challenges the entire tech industry is facing right now. All of a sudden, S3 object storage isn't just something you install. It's the absolute backbone for the AI revolution. The whole conversation has leveled up big time. And you can really see this strategic brain at work when he breaks down the partnership between Rubrik and Cloudian. It's not just a list of features. No, it's about why these two companies are a perfect match. You get Rubrik's super simple set it and forget it approach, and you combine it with Cloudian's ability to scale, well, basically forever. And this is the key, right here. It's the connection between that super deep tech knowledge and the problems businesses face every single day. It's about using technology to add real value, like how do we stop ransomware? How do we help the company grow? And that reveals our second layer. We found the strategist. Okay, so now you're thinking, got it, deep tech guy, also a strategist. But just when you think you've got this person figured out, you stumble upon the podcast. And this is where the story takes a huge left turn. We're about to move away from machines and business plans and into the world of people and their stories. Just read this mission statement. This isn't a tech podcast anymore. Not really. The focus is completely pivoted. The thing that connects all the guests isn't the tech, it's the people themselves. It's about leaders, innovators, experts, even if they're from totally different worlds. And then you see a question like this. This is from an episode with a cancer doctor, a hematology oncologist, and it's just, wow. The contrast is stunning. A little while ago, we were configuring DNS records, and now we're asking what it takes for someone to dedicate their entire life to fighting blood cancer. That's not just a pivot. It shows this deep, genuine curiosity about what makes people tick. The guest list just proves the point. Yes, sure, you've got some tech people, founders, evangelists, that makes sense. But right next to them on the list, a cancer doctor, an FBI cybercrime expert. It's clear this isn't just about tech. It's about what it means to be an expert, what drives people, what their stories are, and there it is. That's our third layer, the storyteller. Okay, let's pull this all together now. We've found 3 really distinct layers to who this creator is. And remember, we got all of this just from looking at the stuff they've made. So layer 1, the technologist, the person who's totally at home, deep in the weeds, in the nuts and bolts of really complex systems. Then, built on top of that, we found the strategist, the one who sees the big picture, who connects all that tech to huge industry trends and what businesses actually need.
And then the big surprise, the storyteller, the curious, empathetic person who wants to know about the human side of things, what drives experts in any field, not just tech.
So you'd think that's it, right? A pretty complete picture. You've got the tech expert, the strategist, the storyteller. But hidden away in a corner of the blog, there was one more thing. It was a blog post about being a luthier. A luthier, someone who builds guitars and other stringed instruments by hand. It's so unexpected, it's almost funny. I mean, it has absolutely nothing to do with data centers or ransomware, but it has everything to do with precision, with artistry, with being dedicated to a craft.
And that's the final piece. That's the thread that ties it all together. Whether you're meticulously setting up a server, or analyzing a business strategy, or conducting a deep interview, or building a guitar, it's all driven by the mindset of a craftsman. It's about a deep, fundamental commitment to building things right, and building them well. Doesn't matter if it's with code, ideas, stories, or a piece of wood.
And so, we're going to end right back where we started, with another question from the creator himself. It just perfectly sums up a mind that is always curious, always thinking, always trying to understand how things work, whether that thing is a line of code in a terminal or the perfect curve on the body of a guitar.